Alright, so in our home tour video, I told you that the Airstream did not exactly provide us with a lot of storage opportunities, so we would be using our truck for, I don't know, probably half of our storage, especially just the stuff like the grill and the accessories and some of our hoses and that kind of thing. So we're going to use, like I said, the truck for that storage, but security was one of our prime concerns. We can't just throw stuff in the back of the truck bed and drive around with it, park it at Walmart, whatever. So security was a huge concern for us. So the solution is a cab, a shell. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we did to secure our stuff in the back of our Dodge Ram. Okay, and I'm going to describe the process that I used to get this Leer cab a little bit later in the video. And this is a Leer. It's one of the best brands out there that we've been able to find based on our research. You see them all over the place. So we thought Leer was a good bet, and so far it's working out great for us. So for this cab, there's a lot of different configurations. We chose the side doors rather than just the side window. And there are cabs where there's no window at all. It's just all material, all metal. Those are typically your commercial shells. But I mean, it just opens just like this, and you can reach in, you can buy pre-configured little toolboxes and shelves and storage areas that you can just fit right on the other side of this window if you wanted to spend the money for that. Obviously we didn't, because we're just packing a bunch of stuff in the back. We don't necessarily need that kind of flexibility. So as you can see here, this whole back unit has a frame around it. There are frameless units that look a little bit better than the one that we got. We don't necessarily care about the look, we care about the function. It was a little bit more money, and that just wasn't something that we were all that concerned about, but that's always an option for you. But we also got a little LED light that installs, as you can see here. Right now, since it's pure daylight, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but at night, this really helps. It helps to illuminate the entire cab. And as you can see inside, we still have a lot more room to grow here, but we have just basic stuff. We have some containers full of clothes that we don't wear all that often, like our winter stuff is in there. We have some safety kits, we have some travel gear, but this really helps to extend our ability to take stuff with us, especially stuff that we don't use every day or even every month. We use occasionally, but it's still nice to have. Goes right in here, and it's safe and secure. And one more thing, if you step back and take a look at the top, we opted for the roof rack. So in the future, we are thinking about installing maybe some kayaks or some bikes or something up there. We just wanted the flexibility to be able to do that. We have nothing up there right now, obviously, but in the future, that's going to be very, very helpful. And one thing you'll also notice is the color of this cab is an exact match to the color of your vehicle. Now, in the process of getting your cab configured through your local installer, they will take the color code, which is typically off the inside of your door. There's a specific color code, and that will be sent to Leer, and Leer will make the cab to that color specification, so everything matches exactly as you see it. So one of the nice things about these are they're locking little swivel handles. So we just keep one of these on our key ring, and it's very easy to secure these so they don't turn. There's one of these on either side, and of course our side doors take the exact same key, so you don't have a bunch of keys to fumble around with. We're in a campground right now, so it's not that much of a concern for us to lock these every night. So to be perfectly honest, we don't. I mean, we keep them locked and turned, so you can't actually pull it out, but anybody could just come up and turn it. But for us, that's not a big deal right now. Once we start traveling, we definitely will keep these locked so nobody could just open up our windows and take stuff from inside our bed. But these make it really, really easy to secure your stuff. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to show you the process I took to connect with our local installer online. Here we are in front of my desktop. Now, there are a couple different ways where that you can find your local Leer installer if you choose to go with this company. First is just to pull up Google and type Leer install and your city name. I'm sure you can find it that way. I actually went straight through the Leer website. They make connections through local installers in many cities across the country. So this I found was a little bit easier. So what you do is you go to Leer.com. Here on the upper right you see a red button that says what fits my truck. Go ahead and click that. First thing it'll do is ask you for a zip code, and I will type in the zip code that I'm currently in, 85706, which is a zip code in Tucson. It'll validate that, then ask me for the year of my truck. It's a 2008. The model is a Dodge. Or the make is a Dodge rather. The model is a Ram 2500, and I am selecting my cab here. It even gives you pictures if you aren't sure what your cab style is on your truck. Mine's a quad cab. Mine is a 78-inch and fleet side bed style. It will take all those parameters and come back with exactly what fits your truck. Now, I didn't exactly know what I wanted. I know I wanted the doors on both sides and of course on the back. I liked the idea of a rack on top, but I didn't necessarily know which one of these was going to fit the best. So I ultimately went into this guy's shop, the local installer, and took a look around and talked to him. But the way I got his contact info is I just selected one of these, scrolled all the way down, so this is your options page. Again, I didn't necessarily know what I needed here, so I didn't select anything here. I just went down to the very bottom. I selected continue, and here is your contact form to submit an email to your local installer. But if you scroll up a little bit, here is my local installer, Shells Etc. Incorporated, on East Benson Highway here in Tucson. So I actually did submit this form, but if you prefer the phone, there's a phone number listed, or you can Google for this exact name based on whatever zip code you're currently in. And you could also make contact that way. This guy got back to me like the next business day, so he was pretty responsive. I understand not everyone's going to be as responsive as that, but this guy was, so filling out this form worked fine for me. But you have a couple different options, and this is an easy way to find your local installer so you can get your Shell installed.